What's up, Cowboys Nation? We've got some big news and important updates today. And you know the Cowboys are always working to get better, aiming for those big wins and that ultimate Super Bowl dream. But before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out and ensures you won't miss any of the breaking Cowboys news. All right, let's get into it. We're talking about two major storylines. Jordan Lewis addressing the challenge of playing without two of our biggest defensive stars and the possibility of a reunion with former Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper. This could change everything for the Cowboys. Stick with me, because there's a lot to unpack. First up, we've got some tough news. The Cowboys are heading into battle without two of their most crucial defensive players, Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. This is huge and not in a good way. These two are the heart and soul of our defense. Pro Bowlers known for making game-changing plays, bringing fire and energy to the field, and straight-up dominating opponents. Without them, the team faces a serious challenge. Jordan Lewis, one of our leaders in the secondary, spoke out about this, and what he said really hit home. He didn't sugarcoat anything. These guys are the engine. They make this thing go. He's right. Parsons and Lawrence aren't just playmakers. They're the tone setters. The guys everyone looks to when the going gets tough. Losing them, even for a short time, is a big blow. But here's where it gets interesting. Lewis is confident the Cowboys can find ways to adapt and overcome. He acknowledged it won't be easy. You can't just replace guys like Parsons and Lawrence. But he emphasized that the team's mindset is all about finding ways to supplement their absence. This is going to be a true test of the depth of our roster. As Lewis put it, we just have to go out and find ways to attack offenses without those guys. The Cowboys will need to lean on other key players to step up. Jordan Lewis and the rest of the defense know they've got to bring their A game. We might see Dorrance Armstrong, Sam Williams, and Dante Fowler Jr. taking on larger roles to help fill the void left by Parsons and Lawrence. But it's not just about one or two players stepping up. This is a moment for the entire defense to rally. Lewis and the secondary will need to be sharper than ever, and the defensive line has to find ways to create pressure, even without their two stars. Can they do it? Only time will tell, but I've got a feeling this team is ready to take on the challenge. And like Lewis said, expect it. Now, here's where things get really interesting. There's buzz about a potential Amari Cooper reunion in Dallas. Yeah, you heard that right. With the Cleveland Browns sitting at a 1-3 record, there's talk that they could be looking to move the 5X Pro Bowl wide receiver before the trade deadline. And the best part? Financially, it actually makes sense for the Cowboys to pull the trigger on this. According to Spotrac, the Browns have already converted most of Cooper's 2024 salary into a bonus, which means that if Dallas were to trade for him today, it would only hit our cap by about $941,111. But if the Cowboys wait until closer to the trade deadline, Cooper's cap hit would drop even further to a minuscule $605,000. For a receiver of his caliber, that's a steal. Plus, the Cowboys have the draft capital to make this deal happen. Right now, we've got 4 compensatory draft picks lined up, including 3 potential fifth-rounders. So making a move for Cooper wouldn't cripple our future plans. It would actually strengthen our receiving core in a way that's very realistic. Bringing back Amari Cooper could be a game-changer for the Cowboys' offense. Yes, we have a solid receiving group with CeeDee Lamb leading the way, but adding a veteran like Cooper back into the mix would give us another dynamic playmaker who's already familiar with the system. He's proven he's reliable, and we all know what he can do in a Cowboys uniform. It would also give Dak Prescott another trusted target, especially in high-pressure situations. Cooper had some of his best years here in Dallas, and if we want to make a serious playoff push this season, bringing him back could be the missing piece. Think about it. Teams are going to be focused on shutting down CD, and if Cooper's there to take advantage of that attention, it could open up the field for the entire offense. Plus, let's be honest, Cowboys Nation, we've been missing that 1-2 punch at wide receiver. Amari Cooper gives us that. A move like this would also send a clear message to the rest of the league and the fans. Dallas is going all in. This isn't about winning a division title. It's about making a run for the Super Bowl. So, Cowboys Nation, we've got a lot to think about. On one hand, we're dealing with the reality of playing without Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. Their absence is going to test this team's grit and depth. But as Jordan Lewis said, this team is ready to rise to the challenge. We're going to see some new faces step up, and this could be a defining moment for the season. On the other hand, there's the exciting possibility of Amari Cooper returning to Dallas. It's not just a pipe dream. Financially, it makes sense, and we've got the draft capital to pull it off. The big question is, will Jerry Jones make the call? If he does, this could be the spark we need to take the offense to the next level. As we all know, Micah Parsons is a warrior. Ever since he stepped onto the field in his rookie year, he's been a relentless force, firing off the edge, disrupting offenses, and making game-changing plays for this Cowboys defense. So, the news that he might miss Week 5 has hit hard, not just for us fans, but for Micah himself. Micah sprained his ankle during the Cowboys' 20-15 victory over the New York Giants last Thursday at MetLife Stadium. Now, it looks like he'll probably miss his first game ever due to an injury. That's right. Even going back to his Pop Warner days, Parsons has never missed a game because of a physical injury. The only time he sat out was in 2021, due to COVID-19 protocols, but nothing has ever kept him off the field until now. Here's where things get emotional. Micah opened up in an interview with Garrett Podale of CBS Sports, and he admitted just how tough this is for him. He said, "It's really frustrating. I put so much effort and energy to be ready for the team, so it hurts me. I feel like I'm letting people down." Wow. That's some heavy stuff coming from a guy we usually see as nearly invincible on the field. Parsons even admitted that for a long time, he thought of himself as untouchable, and this injury has been a humbling experience for him. He called it a test of his faith, saying, "It's humbling. It's part of the test. Faith, keeping that faith alive. Come back stronger." One thing about Micah Parsons that's always stood out is his competitor's mindset. He's not just out there for the paycheck. This guy lives and breathes football. When he talks about feeling like he's letting people down, you can tell how much it bothers him to even consider sitting out a game. He went on to say, "When you're a real competitor, like I said, you only get 17 chances at this. And missing one of those opportunities to perform at the highest level bothers me." Micah's frustration is completely understandable. As fans, we want to see him on the field every Sunday, and he wants to be there just as badly, if not more. He made it clear that if he's physically able to play, he's going to do everything in his power to suit up. "If I can play, I'm going to play. As long as I can run and move like I move, I want to play." That's the Parsons mentality, and it's part of what makes him so special. He's not just a talented player. He's a competitor in every sense of the word. So, what's the reality of this situation? Well, as much as Parsons wants to play, it's looking highly unlikely that he'll take the field in Week 5. According to Todd Archer of ESPN, this will probably be just the second game Micah misses in his NFL career. The Cowboys, understandably, want to be cautious here. There's even some talk that they might sit him out for 2 weeks, letting him rest through the bye week to ensure he's fully recovered. This could be the smart move. We all know that ankle injuries can linger, and if Micah comes back too soon, it could affect his ability to play at his usual high level for the rest of the season. And let's be real, this Cowboys defense needs Parsons healthy for the long haul, not just for a single game. The timing of this injury is tough, though, especially since Parsons has had a slow start to the season by his standards. He's only registered 1 sack through 4 games after putting up an incredible 14 sacks last year. In total, Parsons has 40.5 sacks in his first 50 career games, so we know what he's capable of. But the injury has clearly thrown a wrench in his momentum, and missing games could further complicate things. So, with all this uncertainty around Parsons, the big question is, how will the Cowboys defense adjust? This is a defense built around Parsons' ability to pressure the quarterback and disrupt offensive plays. Without him, the team is going to have to rely on some of the other key players to step up. DeMarcus Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, and Sam Williams are going to have to carry more of the load. The defensive line has been a strength this year, but without Parsons' unique combination of speed and power, it's going to be interesting to see how they cope. The good news is the Cowboys have a deep roster on defense. Guys like Osa Odigizwa and Leighton Vander Esch have been stepping up, and we've seen some solid contributions from the secondary as well. But there's no doubt about it. Losing Parsons for even one game is going to test this defense. Now it's time for you to weigh in. Do you think the Cowboys can handle the loss of Parsons and Lawrence? Are you confident in the depth of this team? Or are you worried about how we'll fare without our two defensive stars? And what about Amari Cooper? Would you want to see him back in a Cowboys uniform? Or do you think the team should focus on developing the current roster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you all think. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We're bringing you the latest and greatest Cowboys news, and you don't want to miss any of it. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Cowboys.